The last time Rangers supporters came south was in 1976, when they inflicted serious damage in and around Aston Villa's ground. This time, though, things went much more peacefully.
The fact that nearly every town centre pub had closed its doors. The lull in activity was expected to be purely temporary, since by 6:30 at least 5,000 fans will have come into town in 40 coaches, 150 mini coaches, nearly 200 cars and a special train. Are you going to behave yourselves?
Yes. Come to enjoy yourself. Don't want no trouble, but we've got past yesterday, haven't we?
The unlikely game they came to see was Rangers playing 3rd Division Chesterfield in an Anglo-Scottish Cup tie. Yet such were the worries of both clubs and police that the Rangers manager made a personal appeal for a truce before the game. His retreat from the terraces was caused merely by over-enthusiasm. Both he and his players spent almost half an hour signing autographs and giving away souvenirs. Of course, if this goodwill gesture had failed, a big police operation had been laid on to keep control. Around 500 men had been brought in to protect the town and to ensure that the riots of 1976 were not repeated.
With the first leg score standing at 1-1, the visitors brought 5,000 fans to Saltergate for support. However, Rangers fell behind after just 15 minutes when their former apprentice Phil Bonnyman scored from a corner by Walker to put Chesterfield ahead. Just 2 minutes later, Bonnyman added a second when Rangers keeper McCloy stood motionless as Ridley supplied the opportunity to score.
It might have been 3 when a Rangers player palmed the ball away from the goal, but the referee didn't spot it.
Bury was assured when Ernie Moss scored goal number 3 to the delight of the home supporters. So victory for Chesterfield and a peaceful evening on the terraces at Saltergate. Alan Hardwick now reports.
The Saltergate stands and terraces are empty, and 5,000 Glasgow Rangers fans, who must have been bitterly disappointed after their team's defeat, left Chesterfield last night in as orderly a manner as they'd arrived. There were 6 arrests during the game, all Rangers supporters, but Chesterfield manager Frank Barlow was well satisfied with the fans' behaviour.
I thought the fans did very well. I know 1 or 2 people were particularly anxious up in Glasgow that they would behave themselves last night, and I'm sure that they must be pleased this morning, if not with the result, with the fans' behaviour.
Onto the game itself now. Obviously, you must be delighted by a 3-0 result.
Absolutely delighted. Obviously, we thought we could win. I mean, as manager, I wouldn't be worth my money if I didn't think we could win. But very, very pleased with the way we did win and the result.
But 3-0, though, I mean, that really is excellent.
3-0, yeah, great. Great.
On Tuesday night, Chesterfield had more to celebrate when they reached the final of the Anglo-Scottish Cup. Not the best of Chesterfield performances, but a memorable night for John Stirk here, getting his first goal for the club. Bury equalised through Steve Johnson, but at the final whistle, it was a 3-2 aggregate win for Chesterfield, and they now meet Notts County in the final.
A 1-goal lead to Notts County for the second leg of last ever Anglo-Scottish Cup final. County took the lead, and only a goal by Alan Crawford deep into extra time saved Chesterfield. They won 2-1 on aggregate and celebrated
the Anglo-Scottish Cup, a 2-1 aggregate win over Notts County, and a happy Bill Green just after receiving that cup from Bob Lord. But the game was a personal triumph for 19-year-old goalkeeper Paul Gregory, called up at the last moment for his first-team debut, and he made a series of fine saves. And so it was a jubilant Chesterfield team in the dressing room after the game, the club's first national trophy in their 115-year history, and especially satisfying for a manager in his first season, Frank Barlow.
Delighted, delighted. I'm proud of the players as well, but certainly the result what we wanted, because if you enter a competition, you enter it to win it. And it was very, very difficult tonight, wasn't it?
Did you come here, though, believing that you could win it?
You've got to come believing you can win it. We go, wherever we go, we believe we can. Sometimes we don't always fulfil that belief, and tonight we had a wee bit of a struggle, but in the end we got there.
I believe it's the first time in over 100 years that Chesterfield have won anything. Is that true?
I think that's true, yes. It's long overdue then, isn't it? Long overdue. I hope that tonight that they've got a taste of being winners, and I think you can see from their faces that they've enjoyed it, and that we can go on and make it a habit.
Now the cup goes back to Chesterfield. Any special plans?
No special plans. I'd like to win on Saturday.
Chesterfield may have to be content with the Anglo-Scottish Cup for this season's work. The trophy displayed at Saltergate by the players prior to last Saturday's game against Fulham. But now, unless they hit a really rich vein of form in their last 6 games and others stumble, it looks as though it will be another disappointment in the promotion race for Chesterfield, who tomorrow are away at Brentford.